Most automated, or what I'll call nurture emails I see today, they're playing the short game. And what they're trying to do is capture quick wins. You're going to see things like sign up for our webinar, attend our event, download our ebook, talk to our sales team. What they're doing is they're making the mistake of thinking that by consistently showing up in any form or with any ask is nurture. But to truly nurture is to educate or to further develop the relationship with your market.
Initiating becoming a hiring machine sequence in 3, 2, 1.
Hey everyone, it's Sam Keenly, and welcome to Becoming a Hiring Machine. This is the show dedicated to fixing recruitment by going beyond saying what needs to change and instead teaches you how to make that change. Today, we've got a great Tactical Tuesday episode ahead of us, but before we get into that, I just want to tell you a little bit about the show. Essentially, we have shows within the show here. Some days we have interviews with industry thought leaders and others who are shaking up the space, while other days we cover things like trending topics. Stop by every Tuesday, like today, for a Tactical Tuesday episode where we go deep on how to do something that's going to help you drive better results in the day-to-day. Some days we open up for Q&A, and other days you get a mic drop episode from Matt where he shares something he's been thinking about within the recruitment space and wants you to know. Now, as a reminder, if you love the content that we share here on the show, make sure that you subscribe for more. All right, today's Tactical Tuesday is the last Tactical Tuesday as part of our August business development series, and we're going to talk about BizDev nurture emails. So most automated, or what I'll call nurture emails I see today, they're playing the short game. And what they're trying to do is capture quick wins. You're going to see things like sign up for our webinar, attend our event, download our ebook, talk to our sales team. Like what they're doing is they're making the mistake of thinking that by consistently showing up in any form or with any ask is nurture. Hey, we're checking the box, we're doing this right. But to truly nurture is to educate or to further develop the relationship with your market. So doing this by having a gate or a wall in front of the item that your market desires so that you can capture a lead in the short term, like that's not really a true lead. And honestly, that's an entirely different conversation in itself, but it's most likely hurting you over the long term. So what's the goal then of a nurture email sequence, a BizDev email sequence? It's to build trust. It's to establish credibility and authority. And it's to be something that your market actually looks forward to reading or consuming. So let's take a second and think about it. I know I have an email that I look forward to. It comes out every month. It's a book newsletter from Ryan Holiday that it always has like 4 or 5 different books, but I love it. I honestly look forward to it and I sign up for it. And then there are a few that I have that come every week. Some of these are marketing related, some of them are business related. Like I'm sure that you have different newsletters as well. And I'm willing to bet that for 99% of these, like me, you most likely subscribed to those lists. You weren't opted in or added to them by the sender. So let's break down like what makes a good business development nurture email. First thing is the sender. What I'm seeing more and more is that this sender, when it's an individual and not a company, has higher open rates, higher response rates, just better overall engagement because it's not just this mythical or building, so to speak, that someone's just like, it's coming from a no-name entity to like, oh, it's Jenny who sends this email out. Like, I know her. I see her on LinkedIn. I see her on Reddit. I see her on Twitter, any of those different places. But the sender goes a long, long way. And the more that people are embracing that being an individual versus a larger company or entity is reaping the benefits of that. Next item, let's talk frequency. So this is going to be a little vague, but I promise I'll explain more in a second. You're going to want to find a level that is not overwhelming to you, but it's something that allows the content to continue to be meaningful and not get watered down or repetitive. And I'll get more into the content in just a moment. But the secret here is it's the consistency and the expectation setting. So as we were talking about a second ago, like think to the emails that you regularly receive and you look forward to getting. Like I bet they come on a certain day of the week. I bet they come at a certain time of the month. Like people look forward to this. And honestly, it's a huge item that helps keep them or to help keep you in mind when you are building out your email open rates, your following, things like that. And so when we say that it's also like it's not overwhelming, that's for you. You don't want to burn out on this. You want to be something where you can continue to add value and really make this good and powerful as time goes on. So this cadence is something that is going to allow you to do that, to produce good, high quality content at a regular recurring rate. So very easy to say, but what does it actually mean? So for some people, it's weekly. For others, it's a few times a week. They can do it a bunch. I mean, there's even newsletters that come out once a week or once every day. They usually have larger staffs though that are contributing to a shared article. It's not just one person. But for others, again, it's once a month, it's once a quarter. So find the rate that is sustainable for you. Next thing you want to do is what we were talking about earlier. The content needs to be helpful, educational, insightful, and or entertaining. So you don't want to send something just to send something. Like that's how you're going to get unsubscribes at the end of the day. So make sure that every time something is sent to an inbox, you're able to confidently say and ask yourself this question, like, are your recipients going to be glad they opened the email? Are they going to be able to say they benefit from it in some way, whether that's learning something, cracking a smile, or anything else? Now, the type of content, what should you use here? For emails, most people do default to written content. That's a natural medium to use. So with that in mind, you also want to keep in mind, I know I just said in mind a couple times, bear with me. More and more people are reading emails from their mobile nowadays. They're on the go and everything else. So keep things mobile accessible and also write in shorter sentences that are easy to read. Use white space to your advantage so it just easily flows as they scroll through. There's also a growing trend of including short videos in the email. And this is 100% okay to do this as well. What you'll want to do is one, just make sure that the video is embedded into the email so you can just kick play on it. Or if you do host it, make sure that it's hosted on an app that the recipient most likely already has on their phone already, like YouTube. Last thing about the content that I'll say is play to your strengths or your unique knowledge. Like what is something that only you or your organization know and can speak to well? Because this is the type of content that you'll want to share. It's a competitive advantage for you and your audience cannot get this anywhere else. So don't try to look and sound like everyone else. Don't try to be like that influencer, that thought leader over there. Do what's going to work for you all to be successful. And last tip I'll say is make it conversational. Ask for people to reply to the email and then actually reply back to them. So, make it a dialogue. That's how you really build a community around it and get people who are going to be longtime subscribers and readers. So all in all, I really do think it's time to rethink email nurtures. Playing the long game with this channel is your best bet. It's going to build an audience that trusts you and they're going to opt in on their own. So you don't even have to worry about Google's new spam policy there. It's a channel that you own also, and you don't have to worry about algorithm changes on social media platforms or anything else. So all the benefits are there. And if you continue to layer in the right elements, you're only going to continue to see growth, results, positive, upward to the right, the exact stuff that you want at the end of the day. So give it a shot and let me know how it goes for you as time goes on. Would love to hear some stories from y'all there. So appreciate you all listening to this one. Hopefully it starts to help and it spurs some ideas for you as you start to think about these programs moving forward. All right, as we wrap, Becoming a Hiring Machine is a production of Loxo. If you did enjoy this episode, but you're not sure where to go next, we got a link to a similar one in the show notes, and you can find those in the description of your favorite podcast streaming platform. Full video episodes are available on YouTube. If you ever have questions, send them to us at podcast@loxo.co. And lastly, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure that you leave us a quick rating in your podcast streaming platform. It only takes you 3 seconds, but it's going to help other recruiters like you to find us. So all right, everyone, that's the show. That was a great Tactical Tuesday on business development email nurtures. Until next time, bye y'all.